Okay. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the channel. It's Boomer Tester. And today, after I fix my camera, because this is the perpetual pain and suffering of using Linux to stream. I'm free. Dobby is free and yet not free being on Linux. What's up, Paul, or better known as the Dark Arts Wizard? Pondering the best response, a gut feeling, get gut, or waiting for Godot. Well, or there's makes you think dinner with Godot. Yeah, streaming on Linux has its ups and downs, and today the webcam is always a down. It's just one of those things. Hope you're doing well today, Mr. Paul. I've been working on the 20 games challenge recently. I kind of took a break from test automation content. Though technically this is going to be testing content once I have enough here where I feel like I can test. So really quick, I want to shout out, let me see, a few people. In case anyone's watching this later, you can go follow Paul, the Dark Arts Wizard, on Twitch for testing and automation content. You can also follow Adam Learns Live. So Adam is it not going to let me? I can't do another shout out. So I'll have to wait till this shout out resolves and then I'll shout out Adam. But Adam is a game developer, former Google engineer as well. And he is developing a game called Skeleseller. It's an idle light game. I played on stream sometimes. It's still in the demo phase. But Adam really inspired me to get into game dev in earnest using Godot. But Adam is a great resource just in development in general. He gives a lot of really good advice about game development and just software development, career advice, advice about building a channel and content. He's given me some really good advice that, as much as it was hard to take, like I had a YouTube video I was about to publish and then I sent it to him and he gave me such good advice. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to upload it. So I didn't. But he asks really good questions too. So I would go check out Adam and go wishlist Skeleseller on Steam. You'd help him out and his dev team. He's got a small dev team, but he's kind of the primary or principal dev. But Adam is a great resource, really enjoyable to sit and chat with. It still won't let me do it. Come on. All right, we'll like cue that shout out. But it's the 9 a.m. stream, 9 a.m. for me, Eastern time. This is because work put a meeting in my normal stream time. But I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Mondays and Fridays at 11 a.m. Eastern time, Wednesdays at 9 a.m. I may change the schedule to make it simpler. I don't know. But I've been having a lot of fun with game dev. I should bring up, let me see, I'll get the 20 games challenge so people know what I'm talking about. Let's see, yep, the 20 games challenge. So this is text for ants. Let's switch over to, go here. You can actually read it. Because who wants to read text for ants? So the 20 games challenge, it's a list of 10 games to get you started. Which, that's weird, it's the 20 games challenge. Maybe that's a typo. There are a couple of alternatives. You can select either game from each selection. Each game will be slightly larger and more difficult than the game from the previous section. I have been surprised at how challenging Flappy Bird has been to create. I accidentally, and definitely this is why I want to shout out Adam, because he's so experienced with Godot. Is he going to let me know? Can I do it? Hey, I did it. Now I can shout out Adam. There we go. So I didn't know that Godot had its own gravity, or I couldn't really figure out how to get it to work essentially, but I didn't know how to affected different nodes, and nodes are kind of like what everything's built on in Godot. So I hand rolled my own gravity. And I realized I made the code more complicated because of it, and then I would have to write probably unit tests later to test my gravity out to make sure it behaves the way I expected. But he informed me and showed me how it works, that you can, just depending on what type of node you use for your sprites, you can just use the baked-in gravity. So yeah, I spent so much time just trying to get, and there was a couple other things with that too, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about, but I'm digressing a little bit, but we'll get to that. I don't want to bury that lead. So game number 1, you can make Pong or you can make Flappy Bird. I decided to make Flappy Bird, which I'm starting to regret, and I may still make Pong. There's no rule. I'm not trying to get through this a certain amount of time. My main goal is to get better at game development, but also learn how to write unit tests for games, because I've never done that before. I've only written tests for software, lots of different types of software, but just never game. So this is an opportunity for me to learn gut. Use my gut instincts to write gut. So Flappy Bird was a mobile game from 2013. Most of you, unless you lived under a rock, should know this. Unless you're a space alien, you should know about Flappy Bird. It was a sleeper hit, gaining sudden and massive popularity in 2014, likely due to attention from a popular YouTuber at the time. I wonder who, it doesn't say. The game was removed from the App Store after its sudden popularity due to negative media attention. I think by the developer, though. I think this was a choice of the developer. The original developer. Now it's owned by someone else, I think. The game is extremely simple. Yeah, you. And was designed to mimic the feeling of bouncing a ping pong on a paddle as long as possible. Flappy Bird is a popular game, first game for developers. It's featured in many first game tutorials. And it's flipping. So we're gonna go play a little Flappy Bird to kind of show. So there's a couple of things here that I was worried about, but using default gravity actually fixed. But when I hand rolled my gravity, I would have to hand code some of these things, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So one of the things I really liked about this Flappy Bird is the gravity. You know, like when the bird flaps, he sticks his head up like he's going up in the air. When he's not flapping, he kind of like dive bombs like this. See? And I was like, oh no, I'm gonna have to like code that. And if I hand rolled my gravity, if I kept going with my hand rolled gravity, I would. What's cool, since I use built-in gravity, I get that for free. Like, I was so worried about how to do this. That was something I was really just getting it to dive bomb like that and getting it to stick its head up. I was like, how am I going to do that? I'm going to give that sense of momentum in the sprite, but I got it for free. It like came baked in. So that's why big shout out to Adam. Paul says he pulled it because he felt it was wasting the time of too many kids and adults. I mean, it's wasting my time technically. In a good way, because I'm going to learn how to be better at Godot and game development, and hopefully learn how to test games. But let's actually play our game really quick. So here again, it's not as smooth as theirs, but we get like that flapping and then that diving, right? That kind of like dive bomb thing where and this comes, I think this comes baked in based on what kind of physics or gravity physics you configure for the sprite. But right now, this is as sad as it sounds, spending almost 2 days, this is what I have. This is what I have so far. This is the Flapeagen. So the Primeagen is a software development streamer guru, meme boy, and I decided to make the game about him. So this is going to look like a Vim editor when it's done. That's why I've got this area down here. This is where when the Flappy Bird hits that, or the Flapeagen hits it, the game will end. But sadly enough, like, this was a lot more work than you'd think. Just to get that to work was, and it's skill issues, right? It is skill issues. So let's look at a couple of things really quick before we get back into this. So this player, that's our Flapeagen sprite there. I believe it's under motion. So I think because we set it to floating instead of grounded, because I think grounded would make it kind of stick to the ground and then jump. Or here we kind of let it know this is something that's floating in the air. So when like the default gravity is applied to it, that it's going to have some physics effects. And you can kind of, there's like a slide angle, which I think also affects that. We could tweak that if we really want it. I'm kind of happy with how it works. I'm not going to obsess over it because I got it for free after I thought I was going to have to code it. But all that little that you saw there requires quite a bit of scripting. You'd be really surprised at how much it took to get that to work. So let's look at, we can look at our scripting. So this is the scripting for main. We also have scripting for player. We'll go into that first. I don't want to spend too much time because we've kind of already belabored this a bit. And I don't have a clear idea yet if I'm ready to write tests either. I feel like I want basic functionality working. I know that kind of goes completely against TDD. I'm just not sure if I'll be testing Godot or testing my game itself. And finding that line is going to be tough because I've never done testing for a game before. This is going to be an interesting challenge. So a couple of things that are important. We have this variable called flap strength, and it's negative, so it causes an upward force, so it's resisting gravity essentially. Like your sprite is going to drop, right? And as it drops, when the player causes the bird to flap, it's going to have a negative gravity force, or y direction, so y axis, to resist. Again, it was like, you think this would be so simple, like, of course, just get a bird to flap, and like, no, it's not simple. You have to think about sprites in 2D space and where like the x and y axes are. Yeah, exactly, Paul. That's where I'm kind of like, I'm trying to think of how to approach this, but I'm trying to get more of a baked game before I do, even though, again, I know that contradicts TDD. I'm like the big TDD proponent. I feel like I need to drink some of my own tea, but today I'm just like, man, I want to get the basics of this game working, and then think about how do I test this? And I'll probably use a little ChatGPT to help. Just to give me some direction as I'm kind of uncertain, because maybe there's better tutorials too. I don't know. So full confession here. I did ask ChatGPT to generate a tutorial. There isn't a tutorial that exists to help you, at least for Godot that I know of, to make Flappy Bird. So just today I had it generated. I haven't gone through it yet because I want to include it with this repo in case someone wants to try to build Flappy Bird as well off of Godot, and I'll include it in the repository. I've also never stored a Godot game in source control, so I need to figure out like what are the exclusions you want in your get ignore and stuff like that. It's all going to be part of a learning experience here. So here's where we're using the default project settings gravity. We're storing it in a variable so that we can use it, and then we're grabbing screen size. That's so that we can do what's called clamping. So clamping is essentially, you don't want your sprite, your player sprite, to go outside the bounds of the viewport of the game. So if this is on your phone, if this is on your computer, whatever, you just don't want that sprite to like float away. Like you could let the Flappy Bird flap outside of the bounds, and if you watch this one, like we can keep clicking, but he won't flap outside of the bounds. And then here, this is a sprite collision. Again, you think like that's simple. No, I had to bake and hand roll a sprite collision, which again maybe is not correct. There might be some pre-baked sprite collision stuff that I should be using, but in this case I kind of used a tutorial that's not that's for making a different game, just to figure out how to get the Flappy Bird to stop when you hit this other sprite. But you can see I can't go outside the bounds here. There's really only one bound, which is the top bound. I just don't want the bird to be able to go the Flapeagen to go above this. But when it comes to the testing, unit testing is where I'm going to try to start. And I'm trying to think, I'm looking at stuff like physics process. Like, is there a way, because delta is time, is there a way to test, I guess, is my honest thought. So ready runs every time, right? So we've got our physics process. Delta is time. So we apply gravity automatically. So that's our y velocity plus equals the y-axis velocity, it's going to be our gravity, the default gravity times our delta. So we want that constant force applied to our sprite. And Adam said that this should happen automatically, but it's not. So I'm not sure if I did something wrong or I need to go and configure it. So I'll keep digging into that, because if I can get rid of code, I want to get rid of code. But right now, this is the only way I can get gravity to work. I'm still kind of having to like partially hand roll the gravity, which makes me think I'm still doing this wrong. But if it works, it works. And this game isn't exactly like, I don't plan to put this game anywhere. Game testing usually is best left for manual testing. 20% of the time, manual testing is preferred every time. 20% of the time, it works every time. Yeah, I'm going to try to see if there's any seams, because I do want to learn how gut works. I have a feeling if you have a complex game that's doing a lot of things, you're going to want some unit tests. Most of the game devs on Twitch that I've interacted with don't write tests. And it's because their game logic is constantly changing, I think, as they develop the game. That's where I think, like, if you have the game a little more baked, you could add unit tests. Then I'm going to try at least. I'm going to try. But I feel like I don't have much to test here. Almost everyone that I've watched game dev, even some big games, they do manual testing, and then they ask the community to test. They don't write unit tests. It's just crazy to me. But I think I know Adam's been a developer, but I think a lot of game developers that stream haven't necessarily been in traditional development environments where it's a requirement, right? Next is play animation. So our sprite's going to play regardless of any states. Move with built-in collision support. I'm not sure how important that is, but clamp to screen bound. So this is again so that you'll go outside of that. Rotate sprite based on vertical velocity. Do I need this, or did I code? Hold on, let me see if I actually need this. I thought I got this for free. Now I'm looking at this code and thinking, like, maybe... Oh, yeah. I guess I did code this. I didn't get that for free. I'm a liar. It's hard to remember what happened last time. Okay, so I didn't get that for free, but this works. This is tilt up and down based on speed. This is our hit detection. So on body entered, that's when one sprite body collides with another. So we're going to emit a hit. We have to do something with that hit soon. And then we've got our start function, which is going to set position. It's going to show. It's going to disable it's going to enable the collision shape. So the collision shape, if you look at a sprite like this sprite has a collision shape, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around how I get back to that. Here you go. This is the collision shape for that. And for some reason, it's not showing it. But essentially, the collision shape. Can I go back to 2D and see here we go. The collision shape is like that little blue blob around the sprite. Trying to zoom in here. So this little blue blob around it, that's the collision shape. So that's how we know that two sprites have collided on our field of view, essentially. So when this collides with, where's our floor? See, this has a nice square collision shape. So that's how we know that the Flappy bird sprite has run into this thing. And then eventually, it's how we're going to know it runs into our pillars as our pillars are coming. Oh, of course, my allergies are starting to get me. Give me a second here. Oh, my allergies. Okay, so let's get into this in earnest, though. I could try to follow the tutorial that ChatGPT generated, or I can just keep using... I've been using a tutorial that's for a different game, which has caused me some problems. I think I've used the wrong nodes, but it's okay. It's, again, learning. And learning that for, say, where is it? The player sprite. I'm trying to remember what kind this is. This is is it a character body 2D? To use a character body 2D instead of, I think I was using the same as the floor, which is, I think this is animated 2D sprite, which I think is wrong too. Or is it a rigid body 2D? I don't remember. But yeah, I feel like there's some stuff I'm doing wrong. Visible on-screen notifier. See, I don't remember what that was for either. But I think best how to proceed. Why don't I try opening my .md file that I had ChatGPT generate and see if... Oh, I still got an Aqua projects directory. I should delete that. Aqua's gone. Aqua's gone. Let's see. We'll open up the .md file and see where that gets us. Worst comes to worst, we'll just go back to the other tutorial. Where did I put it? The Flappy Bird. Okay, we'll see. So this is raw. Like, I literally had ChatGPT generate it for me. And I'm definitely probably gonna have to hand massage it. Let's see. Yeah. We've done that stuff. Main scene, create the player, the bird. So they use an Area 2D node. Which I think I changed it to rigid body 2D. See, they're hand rolling gravity too, and you don't have to. Add the player to the game scene position. Did it have us create the game scene? Create a main scene. Okay, I would have liked to have known to do that first, because the other tutorial did not teach me to do that. So I actually think that's already an improvement. Is that you want a main scene, you want somewhere to put... Here, we'll put this over here. Unfortunately, there's just not enough. So we have this main scene where you place children. You have your children in your main scene. So in this case, we have our floor, we have our player. I'm not even sure that's the best type of node to use. I'm uncertain right now. So they're hand-rolled gravity, which we'll probably want to use the built-in gravity, so I'll need to update that. Add player game to the scene. We've done that. Create pipes. Okay, so you know we'll follow this tutorial and see where it takes us. Because I have ideas, I think I need to create my pipes. So what I wanted to create the pipes out of I will show, let me see, where was that? Was that a screenshot? Yeah, it was a screenshot. So my idea to continue with the theme of Vim, is it this one? Yes, okay. So I grabbed this screenshot, I kind of use this visual line as an idea for the bottom, and this ugly plum color is going to be, everything's going to be plum. I'm not even sure. One of the things that I'm uncertain, like, what if I just want a static background image, like just this plum color everywhere? I don't know how to drop that in. There's certain things that like would seem obvious to some that doesn't seem so obvious to me. But we want these like tildes in this kind of mint green color that's in the I believe is the default Vim editor. We could also use, I've got I ended up not using it, but I still may find a place for it. But I created one that also mimicked the end of like a bash in Vim, and I don't even know what this is called. I have this as well, but I'm thinking these tildes would be two sets of tildes that'll be our columns. Just so it looks like the whole thing was to make it look like Vim. So we'll need to create those. We'll use GIMP. Let's see. We'll create new. We'll definitely want it to be 1080 in height, but we don't need it to be 1920 in width. We could do, my guess is like 200 pixels. My guess. That's probably fine. We're going to want to stack tildes on top of each other. We also want that ugly plum color. I'm sorry if someone likes plum or whatever. I'm also wearing my Gunners for blue light filter, so yeah, it's a plum color. It's kind of like a plum. So yeah, we'll just want to stack some tildes on top of each other. But first I want that background color. Yeah, we'll add an alpha channel just because then I guess it doesn't really need an alpha channel, but I digress. We'll grab that color. Let's see, we'll use the color grabber. Plum. All right, I had a plum in there. Okay. Oops. Yep, first things first. We're with that plum color. Then we want the green, which I believe I have in another image. Wasn't it in this one? Yeah. So we need that color as well. We can put it here with this hot pink. We'll kind of, we want this green right here. Kind of a mint. Yeah. Yeah, we got a mint. Hope it didn't replace the color I wanted. So yeah, it should be as simple as just dropping some tildes in there, and I believe this is the same. Oh, whoops. Right. There we go. We just need like, can I just stack them? Yeah, just like this. Perfect. See, this is gonna be our column. Really high tech. We'll do one more. There we go. We can actually shrink this. We shrink the field to its layer. I think there's a way to do that. I think crop the content. A little too aggressive though. I mean, I think I'm obsessing. I think this will be fine, and I can set the boundaries in Godot for this. Yeah, these will be our columns. They're gonna kind of come through. They're gonna be Vim editor tildes. Let's see. Well, let's do this. We can squeeze that a little more. Let's do 150 pixels. Center it. We got a little more room. What's 100 pixels look like? Center it. I think that's actually good. Yeah, I like that a lot better. Okay. Oh, delicious coffee. We'll save this. We'll just put in pictures for now. This is a filler. Or pipe, we can call it a pipe. And then we'll export it. Go to developers. Developers. Yeah, Flapeagen pipe.png is just fine. Yes. Do the thing. Hit the button, Frank. Okay. Following our ChatGPT generated tutorial, let's keep okay. So we're gonna need create pipes obstacle, create a new scene with a node2d root, name it pipe pair. Okay. Well, should we be doing pipe pair? Because I guess we'll see. Because one thing I'm uncertain about is how do we create, I guess, can one node have two hitboxes? I bet you it can. Alright, so we want to close these and create a new 2D scene. Well, yeah, node 2D is like the most generic. That might be a good one. Name it pipe pair. Pipe pair. Pick the pepper pipers. We got our pipe pair. And add 2 sprite nodes for the top and bottom pipe. Oh, so is this adding children? So now you're going to add child nodes. Sprite 2D. I think it's hilarious that I'm following a tutorial that I asked it to generate. So we'll call this north pipe, and then it'll be a south pipe. Essentially the idea that there's Oh, my children are screaming. I might need to go intervene. It's like they wait until I'm streaming. Last stream, I had to go take care of dad stuff. Let's see. Add collision 2D to each pipe. So those, I'm guessing, children of that. Is it collision shape? Yeah. Collision shape 2D to each pipe. Because, yeah, it's going to need a collision shape. So it's mad at me? What are you mad about? The shape must be provided. Yeah, it's really cranky with me. It's mad. I'm angry. So now, how? Add this script to pipe pair. Well, first, don't we need actual pipes? Like, don't we need an image? I think it's missing that. So each of these is going to need an image. Region, transform. Well, I'll have to look at the other ones. The guide is not as guiding as I would hope, but I did have it generated by ChatGPT, so let's see. We've got our two pipes. Now we need, let's look at our player. So we've got an animated 2D, animated sprite 2D, and we've got a collision shape under player. So we have to think of, I think each of those, if we go back to our pipe, oh shoot. I think the pipe itself is going to need a 2D sprite, which I'll make a note here. Here, I need to, pretty sure we need to add a 2D sprite. Yeah, I think we need a 2D sprite here. Fun. Yeah. Well, wait, aren't each of these a 2D sprite? Bah! Yo, what's up, Abe? Yeah, I'm trying to make a Flappy Bird clone. And I'm struggling. This is like day 3 that I've worked on this, and I haven't gotten as far as you think, but how are you doing today? Yes, I know. Sorry. I saw it and I was still delegating with my wife about answering your text. Likely I can't. I have interest, but likely I'm not going to be able to get away. And my oldest is not old enough to watch it. He gets scared watching like The Emperor's New Groove, so this would like freak him out. But when does it come out? I don't even know when it releases. That's just being a dad. I think this is a 2D sprite. Is that material? So how do I'm trying to remember how I give the 2D sprite shape. If I go back to player, this one, you've got player, which is its own thing. You got 2D sprite. Oh, it's under animation. Okay. I mean, we'll see. Anything is possible. Under animation? Or texture. Oh gosh. July 11-ish? Okay. There's something else going on in July and I can't remember what it is. Something important. Don't remember. I don't remember. I mean, it looks cool. I'm all down for James Gunn's version of Superman. I think it's worth giving a try. And then Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner. Notice that wig is just, that wig they have on his head is just horrible. Okay, let me go back to player and see what I'm missing here. So, animated 2D sprite. Because it doesn't technically need to be animated. It's just going to sit there. And even this doesn't need to be animated in a way. It's really a static sprite. Let's see. Go back to our pipes. So this is a sprite 2D. How do we give it need I need guidance. I need help. I need an adult. Yeah, I'm updating this tutorial. Add two 2D sprite nodes as child nodes. For the top and bottom pipe. So I'm calling the north pipe and the south pipe. Yeah, but I need a way to add... I don't know if it's the texture technically. Animation, region, not transform, visibility. What's up, Haster, over on Kick? Yeah, you can ask a question. Isn't that the whole point of streaming? Is you come on and you ask people questions. They're like, what stream is about? Yeah, you can totally ask a question. In real life, is earning money really hard? Define hard. I'll ask you a question. Have you seen the videos of channels using VO3 to make Bible characters as modern day influencers? Yeah, I've seen those. They're kind of interesting. They're interesting. Yeah, define hard. I mean, you have to define hard, Hester, because there's a whole thing about the fact that we have to, like, there's a give and take to everything. So hard is objective. If you do things that you enjoy that are hard, then yeah, like working out is hard and being healthy, but there's always a reward. It's a give and take. It's reaping and sowing. But what do you think? Do you think earning in real life? I do appreciate that you preface that. In real life, is it hard? Because in games you could cheat, right? I mean, you think very hard? Yes and no. I mean, yeah, it should be hard work. If you're getting money, it should be equivalent to whatever you put in. So if you make the best game and everyone wants to buy it, like you make the next Balatro, you had to work hard probably to make Balatro and make lots of other games that no one played, but it was hard. But it's probably also very rewarding, would be my guess. Or you think of Notch and Minecraft. I mean, Notch are probably obsessed over Minecraft, and unfortunately Notch is not happy, but that also shows that money doesn't solve your problems. Notch is like wealthy and depressed, immensely wealthy and bored and depressed. Yeah, I agree, but I think it's supposed to be. Your job should be hard, otherwise what's the point? What motivates you then? Yes, life is very complex. I agree. And so is Godot, because I can't figure out how to get this. I have no idea what I'm supposed to use here. Am I supposed to use a texture? All right, to Google. We're gonna ask Google for help here. Let's see. We'll put Google over here. So how to add an image to a sprite 2D node in Godot. I feel like this should be simple, but I'm struggling. First, add the image to your project. Boom, it's here, I believe. Yep, we got our pipes. Then add sprite 2D node to your scene. Boom, done. And set its texture property to the image you want. What kind? Because there's 8 million different. Is it just the image texture? There's like 8,000,560,000,000,000 of them. I'm guessing it's an image texture. And then, oh gosh, then what? This is not simple. Do I have to give us path, like source path? Can I just go like this? No, it's cranky. Yeah, this is more complicated than I expected it to be. But Abe, are there any of those Bible character VO3 videos that stuck out to you? Any that, or did you find anything like heretical? So I'm sure it's good. I'm sure it's gonna hallucinate some goofy stuff. So I'm confused here. Set its texture properly. With programming, yes, very much so. I mean, this is not my day job. This is my hobby. Game development is starting to become my hobby, but streaming is a hobby. My day job, I'm a senior software development engineer and test. So that means that I write software that tests software. I do risk analysis and mitigation, testing strategy. I provide testing tools and assists. Like I may create a simple bash script that generates test users, or a simple maybe site that generates test users for other people to use. I'm not like I'm not super wealthy, but I'm able to feed my family. We're able to do the things we want because I have kids. I have 3 boys. I have a family and a home, so I'm able to do the basic things I need to do. But a big part of that is persistence, hard work, being a self-learner, especially in software testing. I think in standard software engineering that it's maybe a little easier because there's a lot more classes and degrees, where software testing there's less. You kind of have to learn on your own a lot more, though there are some resources. But yeah, able to make a living, able to probably live above the average income. But I'm sure there's people making a lot more than me, and there's people making less, and it's whatever the company thinks my 13 years of testing expertise is worth to them, and the positive impact it can have on a software testing project, mitigates bugs and risk. I've caught lots and lots of bugs that would have caused huge detrimental effects to companies, fintech, healthcare, business certification. We found a huge one in that. But like logistics, like warehouse logistics. I think it's WMS, warehouse management systems. Things like automatic picking bots that could have harmed people because of, a bug that they'd found, stuff like that. So that's of high value because that's a liability, right? So if whatever you program can bring value that's tangible to a company, you can earn serious income. And I think even still with AI, because all you're doing now is you're managing another intelligence. Because I've been a manager before too, a software testing manager, and you're managing intelligence, and now with generative AI, just another intelligence to manage. And we're not going to lose our jobs to AI yet. We're going to lose our jobs to people that know how to manage AI properly, is where things, I believe, are actually going. Yeah, well, I like to call it an oracle. You need somebody still to filter what is generated because of hallucinations, because of missed context. I think a lot of people that are detractors of using Gen AI in software development, they will give it a really bad prompt, and so garbage in, garbage out. Just like you wouldn't manage a person that way. You would want to give them all the context and the resources to make them successful. So if you give generative AI a really generic prompt without any context, you're going to have it guess. Sometimes it hits the mark, but that's just like a person. What would I change if I were 14? Oh my gosh, I would there's lots of things. I feel like this is getting deep. I would have learned to code sooner. I would have been more serious. I probably would have gone and bought a coding book and been serious about it. Because I tinkered with it until I dropped out of college the first time. I went to college for music education. And if I could have gone back and be like, don't still be a musician as a hobby, learn algorithms, learn design patterns. I would have been like, dude, learn design patterns, learn algorithms. All all this stuff that I'm having. Yeah, I'm in the US. I'm guessing you're Turkish, and that's okay. I noticed there's more Turkish people on Kick, and that's not a bad thing. It just seems like Kick's more popular in Turkey. So I apologize in the sense that I know it's probably hard sometimes to follow when someone's not speaking in your first language. But yeah, I would have totally if I could go back and talk to my 14-year-old self, be like, learn to seriously program, learn design patterns, learn algorithms, and learn how to write unit tests really well. Learn TDD, extreme programming, or whatever it was called at the time, and learn the agile manifesto top to bottom. Just a lot of folks that are on Kick just usually based on their username, and then just there's a different like inquisitiveness to people for Turkey. It's not a bad thing, but yeah, even if you weren't, I would apologize. I don't think it's a bad thing. I get more people probably from South America and the US on Twitch. I get more people from the US on YouTube, and then I get mostly people from Turkey on Kick. I think Kick's more popular there. It seems that way. But yeah, I actually get people that speak Spanish on Twitch. Maybe because I stream during the day. I don't know. It's interesting. I've had people come on like my first language is Spanish. Like, I'm sorry, I don't speak Spanish. I speak a tiny bit, and I speak no Turkish at all. I wish there's a way to like automatically translate myself or create the closed captions in a person's language at the bottom so they could follow along. I still don't know how. This is weird to me because this isn't how. I wish I could just drop that in there. Local to scene. What is that? I have to blow my nose again. These allergies, man. Hold on. But if I was a 14-year-old now, I would learn Python like yesterday. Learn Python, like if I had a 14-year-old self that I was talking to, I'd be like, learn Python, and learn Python. Then learn modular. Because like Python is going to continue to be so important in the development of LLMs and generative AI. Yeah, I'd be like, learn Python and get really good at Python. But like I toyed around with like Bash and console, and that's also a good skill. I would tell myself like keep doing that and build stuff. I would tell myself like build some apps, even if they're garbage, just build. I wish I would have built more stuff, because that's how you learn. Like the struggling I'm doing now is how you learn. Learning GD script, trying to figure out how in the flipping world am I gonna get this image in here. Because I don't know how, and I'm gonna figure it out. See, where did my, oh gosh, where did it go? What happened? Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, something goofy happened there. I don't know. There's certain things about good though that like, how do I recenter myself? Move mode. What if I just want like a default view? Okay, is that my thing? So bizarre. I'm still trying to figure this out. Okay, what's that? There's nothing there. Okay, how do we add this flippin' texture? This should be so dang toot and symbol. It should. And I even Googled it. This is skill issues. Okay. Yes, how do I add an image to a sprite? It should be so dang simple. Copy whatever images you want to your project, which I did. Add a sprite node. Drag it into the texture property. Like here? No, see, it doesn't like that. It's crabby. Oh. Oh gosh, it's gigantic. Oh, okay, I see. Hey, we have a pipe. We have the north pipe, and then we want the south pipe as well. Okay, okay. That's weird. Is it not the shape? It was the texture, right? Oh, because we're in the collision shape. We don't want that. We want the texture. Here. Well, that was way flippin' simpler. That was way simpler. Okay. We have the north and the south pipes. Now we'll probably want to... They're going to need collision shapes. I want to separate them so that they don't overlap each other, but it's going to get cranky at me. It always yells at me. Like, don't move the pipe. It's like, I know. I'm not sure this is the best way to do this. I question. We'll drop this on this axis so that we have... Because we want these pipes to like always be together. I have a feeling, for example, did we resize... Okay, I won't worry about this yet. Let's just... We need a collision shape. It's that simple. Okay, so we need a new collision shape. We'll do, yep, a rectangle. Like a these. But if you're still there, Hestier, and I'm sorry if I pronounce that wrong, I don't make any money doing what I'm doing right now. This is funsies. Funsies for hobby. Again, my day job is software engineer and test. That's what pays my bills and allows me to take care of my family. And I think for quite a long time still, it's still going to be a valid career. You just need to learn how to be an oracle of generative AI. Is this hitbox a little too aggressive? Do we need to shrink it a bit? I think we'll leave it like this. We're not going to obsess over this yet. Because I don't know if I want to position these together yet. We'll find out if this becomes a problem. Okay, so we've got to each... what are these technically? These are Sprite 2Ds. Yeah, the tutorial is missing some pieces, and so I'm technically writing these tutorials that go along. So now we want to add our script. I guess we could save this really quick. Oh, it didn't like that. Save all scenes. Save scene. There we go. Gosh. All right. That way we won't lose that. It's still kind of borking at me. Why doesn't it like this? Collision shape only serves to provide a collision shape to a collision object 2D derived node. Please only use it as a child of area 2D static body. Give them a shape. But did I do this wrong? Because it said add a collision 2D to each pipe. Wouldn't that be a child then? Or does each pipe also need a parent and then a child? Like, because I'm guessing if we look at our player scene, like in this one, the player itself has a sprite. You've got like your overall player, and then you got your sprite and your collision shape, and they live together. So for this pipe, do we need... Because that's a sprite 2D. Do we need just a 2D node for each one? And then we'll call... Oh my gosh, my nose. So tired of having allergies. This is a child. We'll do a 2D node. I think this is what I'm supposed to do. Sorry. Then this. Is it like that? And they'll stop barking at me. I'm losing my voice. South pipe. this. It's still crabby. Maybe we just need to save it all. No, it's still mad at me. Yeah, I'm gonna. It's only when I stream I start to lose my voice. Man, there we go. Save that. This is still angry. Collision object 2D derived node. Whoa. Please only use it as a child of area 2D, static body 2D, rigid body 2D, character body 2D. To give them a shape. Okay. I'm trying to understand why it's cranky and the child of area 2D. Is this technically an area 2D? What is this? This is a node 2D. I should turn my fan on. It's warm in here. I'm hoping y'all can't hear the fan. I'm running out of time too, aren't I? Yeah, I'm running out of time. Dang it. We barely didn't get anywhere. We're just running into problems here. What doesn't it like about this? This is a node 2D, so it doesn't want area 2D, static body, rigid body 2D, character body 2D. So to give them shape. So do we need to change this to... I know there's a way to change type. I don't know if this is the right one to use. Is this the sprite? And I'm trying to use my player as like an example here. What happened to my music? Oh, it's still there. When I look at this, this is specifically to the player. Let's look at our floor. That's a better example. So the floor, I'm using a rigid body 2D. So maybe that's what we should be using these. Not really an animated 2D sprite. I don't think that's what I'm supposed to be using. But it's less cranky about it. So let's see. We go back to our pipe here. Was this or this supposed to be a rigid body 2D? Let's see what happens. I might be causing more problems for myself. And let's read this because I feel like that's where we're missing some understanding. A 2D physics body that is moved by physics simulation. Yeah. Implements 2D physics, cannot be controlled directly. Instead, you must apply forces to it. And the physics simulation will calculate the results. I don't think that's actually what we need. But we'll see. We'll keep iterating. It'll be okay. Well, it stopped being cranky with me. So I don't know. Yeah, unfortunately I'm out of time. I have to get to work. We saved all this. Save all scenes. And go here. So yeah. Thanks everyone who hung out with me. Thanks Abe, Dark Arts Wizard, Hestier. Appreciate you all helping me pass the time. If I wasn't productive, it was my fault. I think I spent too much time explaining at the beginning when I should have just dug in and got to work. But no, I enjoyed it. It was nice chatting with all of you. I will be back Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern time. I don't know what that is, UTC or whatever time everyone else is in, but I am in Eastern time USA, so that is the time. That is the time frame that I'll use. But I'll be back I think more game dev. If I can get the basics working, then I'm gonna try to add unit tests to this. Try. Again, it'll be a good learning experience. I'll have to dig into the gut documentation. I'll keep modifying this tutorial that I had ChatGPT generate, and it's already had some problems. I'll keep iterating upon it and make it better, because right now it not being explicit enough, I think. I'm not even sure if this is the right way to do the pipes. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll just see if we can get the pipes to work on Friday. If we can get pipes to work, then yeah, I feel like we've made some good progress then. But yeah, appreciate you all. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you on Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern. Bye.
Fire.